Some traditions die hard, no matter what and in the face of all odds. The chop bar business has come a long way, and for many, it will continue to delightfully tease the taste buds of patrons for many more years. Chop bars differ in size, from a secluded spot by the roadside under a tree to a small shack or a sizable eatery, and the menu is a whole local variety from all corners of the country. It is arguable that the influx of restaurants and fast food joints are threatening their very existence. However, chop bars have stood the test of time and are still the preferred choice of many, especially in the traditional setting, which is part of the draw to patrons. Before the days of restaurants and more recently fast food joints in our part of the world, traditional eateries in various neighborhoods were very much needed for patrons to get food or a drink and feel a part of a community. Well, perhaps not the very traditional ones like those dotted around the country and by the roadside, but chop bars have quickly become a favorite for the neighborhood crowd. To explain, chop is slang for food, and the phrase chop bar is a West African slang for neighborhood local bar, ranging from a woman serving delicious hot food and snacks out of a bowl, which could even be an earthenware pot by the side of the road under a tree, to a small shack or a full-blown eatery. Being an informal eating houses and usually run by women, these establishments exist in both urban and rural areas, in or near markets, transport hubs, by the road, and serve traditional Ghanaian foods. So we sought to find out what it takes to start a chop bar business.
Now, if you operate a chop bar, I don't think it's just a chop bar. Ministry of Tourism will come here. The Food and Drugs Board also come here. The AMA will come here. They come here to recognize, to know that everything is on point. Because if they come and your environment is not neat, the quality of the food is not neat, they can close down your chop bar.
One needs a license from the AMA to be able to operate a chop bar. The workers also need to undergo medical screening and offer certificates before they can work at a chop bar. Otherwise, anybody without that certificate should be arrested.
For a first-timer, trying West African food is a whole new and interesting experience. Though each country puts its own spin on dishes, most of them can be found throughout the region. Ghanaian food has lots of flavor and lots of spice. At chop bars, the entire menu is on display, and the patron has the luxury of choosing and can even point at a particular meat or fish of his choice, unlike in restaurants where food is behind closed doors and served from the kitchen, where the patron is barred from entering. One therefore has no choice than to accept what is served after an order is made. A day's trip to some chop bars in the capital shows that it would be almost impossible to go to a chop bar and not find at least fufu and banku with the accompanying varieties of soups and at fairly affordable prices. For this reason, chop bars are popular with the Ghanaian public. Fufu is arguably the best known Ghanaian dish. It is made from cassava, plantain or yam pounded to break down the starch content. The fufu then becomes a gooey mash, which is usually served with a soup of choice. This is the heavy-do chop bar at Kokomlemle. It is a typical traditional kitchen setting, and almost all the local foods are on display. Patrons call it a home away from home.
Number one is about the environment. It's perfect. And secondly, when you come to heavy do, any amount that you have, you can have something to eat. Yes, and of your choice, your own choice. And they normally start early. So maybe in case you have a program, long time in the day, you can come here and then you settle yourself before the next business. There are services, okay, when you buy the food, the errand, how they will carry it, and then they will send it to a place. They will be waiting for you to come and before they will go away. I started coming here somewhere around 12 to 15 years. So by then I was a bachelor. There's still marriage and I used to come to Heavy Do still.
Of course, fufu is on the menu.
This place is Heavy Do. This is my choice, and I have my fufu and goat light soup here ready, so you are invited. Next time you are thinking of going to a chop bar, you can visit them anytime.
Banku, another common staple, is made with fermented cassava and maize dough. It is usually served with okra stew, palm nut soup, groundnut soup, light soup, gravy or fresh ground mixture of pepper, tomatoes and onion, and served with either grilled, fried or smoked tilapia. Tuwo zafi or tizet, a typical meal from northern Ghana, is another indigenous food that is catching up with the public. It is served with ayoyo or kuka. Kokonte, popularly known as face the wall, among many other aliases, is served with groundnut soup, and lovers wouldn't hesitate to face the wall to satisfy their palate. Another interesting way of eating rice is when it is prepared into balls or omotuo. Omotuo is a delicacy on the Ghanaian menu. It is usually served with groundnut soup or other stews. Some chop bars have special days for omotuo. The hygienic nature of the eatery also tells how the chop bar business has been transformed over the years.
When people are entering a chop bar, sometimes they feel shy. But right now, if you come to chop bar, you see big men, bank managers, MPs, you see them here. So I will encourage my people, my friends and other chop bars to also do their best. They shouldn't think that because chop bar is just a place, just anybody can just enter. They should try as much as possible to make the place neat, so that it will attract more people. It will also attract tourists.
Auntie B's Chop Bar, which started with 2 pots, now has several pots to cook the various meals on display. People from all walks walk in to sample these traditional meals. But how is the chop bar business keeping above water in the face of stiff competition?
A school 43, 1 bar, 50 pesos.
When school children enter the chop bar with even 50 pesos or 1 Ghana cedis, they can get something to eat. Even the grown-ups with 4 Ghana cedis can also eat decent meals. But at the restaurants, the price on the menu list alone is expensive.
If you look at the market, it has become very competitive. We have the restaurant competing with the chop bar. Chop bars are competing with the restaurant. Sometimes when people come here, we tell them it's a chop bar, they don't believe it, because if you look at the environment, the quality of the food, the quality of the workers, the way they serve, people think it's a restaurant.
Auntie B has taken the chop bar business to another level. This is the VIP section. It may be just a cubicle, but it serves its purpose. When the team got to Happy Yourself Chop Bar by the roadside at Pig Farm, someone had just polished his meal while another had just begun. And we go by the famous saying, we are what we eat. So we look at how healthy these chop bar foods are and the condition under which the food is prepared. Chop bar operators say their businesses are a different ball game now, meaning they stick to hygienic practices at all times.
Anything that has to do with food must be kept neat. Now, chop bars operators are schooled on hygienic practices, and it is very helpful.
It goes without saying that running a successful chop bar is a major task. It can be stressful and requires long hours of committed work. Many get on the job as early as 3 a.m. and carry on working through the day, sometimes till night, making up more than a 14-hour workday. Along with burns and other job-related accidents, it is not surprising then that many chop bar owners and their employees suffer stress-related ailments. For them, fatigue seems to be chronic, and lower back pain is the most common health problem they face. But they say the accidents they suffer on their hands and fingers come with the terrain. The national authorities who oversee the activities of chop bars, the local government, AMA, the Ghana Tourist Authority and others now have laid down rules to guide and motivate the operators. Every year, owners and their employees who handle food are required to undergo medical screening to ensure that they are free from any disease likely to contaminate the food they prepare for the public. The screening is done by local government and environmental health officers who also carry out health and sanitation inspections at the chop bars. Even though the Ghanaian traditional eating habit, with its concentration on less processed foods, is giving way to fast foods, more fat, more refined sugars, and flour-processed meat, pesticide-treated processed fruits, and vegetables, with some known consequences, chop bars still provide an opportunity for healthy eating since they often use fresh and natural foodstuff from the market on a daily basis. The success stories of some of these chop bars are commendable. Some start from very humble beginnings and expand over the years. A saying in local parlance is that food vendors never run at a loss. The newest entrance in the business that the crew visited, Happy Yourself Chop Bar, has served customers for 15 years. Auntie B at Abavana, 23 years, Tawal Katu Alhai in Nima, 25 years, and Heavy Dew, located at Kukumemle, has been in existence for 36 years. Whether big or small, these chop bars have played a role in the growth of the local economy. Self-employed small and micro entrepreneurs such as the chop bar owners do not escape taxation in Ghana. All chop bar owners pay at least one form of tax, the quarterly tax to revenue services. Depending on where the chop bar are located, in or around lorry parks and markets, owners also pay an additional daily tax to authorities overseeing those areas. In addition to these taxes, all chop bar owners are required to pay a yearly business license fee to the local authority, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, AMA. The chop bars are likely to outlive many since some are handed down from generation to generation. In fact, they are a permanent feature, and patronage will always be high due to factors including variety, natural flavors, and affordability. Well, patrons say don't hesitate to stop by and give it a try. Those who are hooked onto the culinary pleasures of locally cooked food say chop bars always have the right flavors, just like a grandmother's good cooking. In true Ghanaian style, chop bars often have colorful and interesting hand-painted and printed signposts with catchy names like "Don't Mind Your Wife Chop Bar," "Chop Better Chop Bar," "Dodge Your Wife Chop Bar," "Meet Me There," "Home Sweet Home," "God is Great," "Ofie Special," "By His Grace," "Lom Nava," and "Enemies Will Suffer Chop Bar," among others. All in all, they often serve up a good treat, and by all means, please do make your choice. A bon appetit. Theodora Medeto, GBC 24.